So, could it be working? Trump's plan all along that we've been talking about here on the channel is showing early signs of supporting the US economy. Now, there is a big moment coming up in less than 24 hours with that release of the CPI data, or the Consumer Price Index. But in this video, let's talk about what are the early signs that Trump, well, fundamentally may be bringing the US economy back online, pumping crypto, and ultimately making your bags go to the moon. All of that in this video. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and you can stay up to date with all the latest and greatest in cryptocurrency, as well as all the latest going on with meme coins, altcoins, technical analysis, and everything else. We've got it every day for you here on the 2Bit Crypto channel. So with that being said, let's get into the video. So we'll come back to the charts in a little bit, but Bitcoin up over 5%. We actually topped out well over 6%, around 83,500. So a nice bounce off the bottom, with altcoins having a pretty good rally as well. But we'll come back to the chart. I want to talk a little bit about this green line and what that is in just a minute. But the White House put out a statement earlier. This was from the Secretary Caroline Leavitt, telling reporters that, quote, "We are in a transition from an economic nightmare to a golden age of American manufacturing under a president who doesn't know what he's doing and has never worked in the private sector in his life." So this is obviously back towards the Trump narrative that, well, they are deliberately trying to stimulate the economy, get rid of what was left, and start afresh. Now, the big thing that everyone's talking about and that we've discussed here on the channel is inflation. Is Trump deliberately pushing the stock market down, pushing crypto down to force a Fed pivot on inflation rates? Well, current inflation rates are around 3%. These are not seasonally adjusted. When you start to look into some more accurate data, it becomes very interesting indeed. What do we notice when we talk about inflation rates? Now, these go back all the way through 2023, 2024, 2021, etc., etc. And you can tell that the signal, or what we have seen in the past, of a sharp decline in the cryptocurrency markets coincide with a sharp incline in annual inflation rates. Take the 2021 bull market for an example. We were trading quite nicely at around 2.5%, maybe pivoting up to about 3 and a bit. Hit April, May time, boom, 5%, 6%, and continued to rise all the way into 2022. Obviously, the bull market being over. Before that, you can see 2020, as we built into it, we saw a very general incline in the price of inflation. Now, roll that forward to where we are right now. What do we see? A very similar story, a general incline as Trump does what Trump's doing, not this sharp increase that generally then slows the markets collapsing. So very interesting. When you take a look at the truthful data, though, this is real-time unbiased data. This is a very interesting indicator. 1.35% current US inflation index. What does this tell us? That it is dumping in the yearly. It is going down. It's going down pretty aggressively. Now, this could be down to Trump's tactics. The fundamentals are, when you look at this, it's having that effect that he sets out to do. It is driving inflation down, which could then allow the Fed to pivot, reducing those rates, which is exactly what Trump wants to do, bringing that refinance deal on the national debt to a lower interest rate, therefore saving money. Again, a master plan. If it all pays off, it is high risk. We've talked about that before, but this is very, very interesting. Now, this all on the backdrop of a couple of big bits of news. Now, more importantly, the view, or certainly the current sentiment around the crypto rally, is that, well, there is still FOMO out there. People don't want to miss out, and we can see large accumulations of Bitcoin by whales and sharks, and this is continued throughout Trump's presidency. We've talked about this a lot on my live streams, remember, 4 p.m. Eastern every single day. But the amount of BTC moving to exchanges has been relatively high. People positioning themselves, around 22,000 Bitcoin have been moving to exchanges. What we do know is a lot of them tend to be ETF sell-offs. We actually have seen a significant amount of institutional sell-off. Once again, this could be part of the plan. Get Wall Street to sell off, ready to purchase back in. We are looking at social media content. Everyone is fearful in the market right now. Remember what they all say. Warren Buffett specifically, who allegedly might be dropping $300 billion into Bitcoin, says be greedy when the market is fearful. And that certainly has shown its case over the last 24 hours. Now, the backdrop of good news. What do we get? Well, the US votes overturned the IRS DeFi broker rule, meaning banks can now custody crypto. Very interesting. Look at JP Morgan. When they were telling people not to buy, they were buying huge amounts. They have been stacking their bags, as well as many of the other big financial institutions as well. And Cynthia Loomis bringing back the Bitcoin Act. The view to buying 1 million Bitcoin over the next 5 years is back on the table, and it's in the hands of President Donald Trump. So all very interesting, on the backdrop of positive inflation rates. And again, just to give you an idea, by the way, consumer price index expected to fall 0.2 as the forecast, consensus about 0.1. But certainly the expectation is that we are going to see a reduction in the consumer price index, which could be very bullish short term for markets. So let's take a look at what's going on here on the chart. Now, this big green line I want to talk to you about, this is the US Fed rates. This is ultimately net US liquidity showing us what's happening in the market. And what we see, generally speaking, is an uptrend in liquidity follows an uptrend in the market. And we just have a big uptrend coming now. Are we about to see Bitcoin do this and start to push back to the upside in line with this liquidity move? Well, it certainly would indicate that, especially given some of the liquidity range around here and our MACD trading more bullish. Likewise, RSI, you can see here, just upticked on the back of today's move. So lots of stuff going on. Definitely, in my opinion, not the time to be bearish. And Trump's plan seems to be working. We'll give you the updates on that CPI report when it comes out. Make sure that you tune into the channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and make sure your notification bell is turned to all. That way you're notified on our live streams, our daily content, and everything else you need to navigate this crazy cryptocurrency bull run. That's right. I still said bull run. Let me know what you think of it all in the comments down below. And as you are, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys all in the next one. Bye-bye.